I think that they should have killed off Vanessa instead of Doug, quite frankly, because at least Doug had redeeming qualities. He was actually entertaining. I am not at all entertained by this Vanessa and Grandpa Gangster story. What is up, everybody? It's Friday, October 24th. We have gotten through another week of Beyond the Gates, and I gotta say, Beyond the Gates has to stop putting their weakest show of the week on Fridays, because that is what today's episode was. It was the weakest episode of the week. And from a psychological standpoint, it doesn't make sense. On soap operas, you're supposed to end the week strong. Give us a cliffhanger wanting more. And I guess they gave us a cliffhanger today, but because of them spoiling said cliffhanger, the fact that we already knew coming in that Isaiah was Jacob's brother, it's not really a cliffhanger. But overall, the episode was weak. The highlight, well, there was a couple highlights. The highlight for me was definitely Dani versus Joey. I think Dani was enjoying sparring with Joey. But before that, a low light was Dani calling Ridge Forrester and saying that she and Andre are not going to be able to model as a couple, but he's looking for the it couple for Forrester. And so I guess that's off. So if this was the whole crossover with Ridge coming from Bold and the Beautiful just to have these two episodes where Dani ends up not doing anything, well, that's whack. Why even try and have these shows cross over if we're not going to actually do anything worthwhile with it? The Devon crossover wasn't very good either. We just had a couple of scenes of Dani and Devon kind of flirting with each other, but that's not going anywhere. Now, this is even worse. So, don't know what that was even about. Maybe we will get a follow-up with it, and it's not over with yet. But if that was the entire crossover, then it was a fail. But then Dani saw Joey sitting there, so she decided to go confront him about Vanessa. Joey threw his pot shots back at her as well. She was really trying to push the fact that Vanessa's in a vulnerable place right now, and that she's wondering if Vanessa is just a mark for Joey, a conquest for Joey. Joey says that he doesn't know why Dani is so concerned, because it's not like they're drunkenly running off to Vegas to get married, which was a pot shot at Dani and Andre's marriage. She played that off as a thank you for the belated congratulations on her marriage. And then he accused her of getting a new model like Bill did. And Joey, being the gambler that he is, bet $10K that her marriage doesn't last a year with Andre, which she took him up on. So we'll see within the future if Dani holds her end of the bet when she and Andre get a divorce, because they're not going to last a year. I would be shocked if Dani and Andre actually last a year married on this show. But we'll see. Then they're talking about Vanessa right when Vanessa arrives and hears them talking about her. And so Dani leaves after telling Vanessa to make sure if anything's wrong to call her or Nicole first and not call Grandpa Gangster. And then Vanessa tells Joey that she had her conversation with Donnell, which she did earlier in this episode. Vanessa was talking with her son, who wants to stay in town, but Vanessa is just dead set on remaining the town mattress, and in this case, Joey's mattress, that she's pushing her own child to leave as quickly as possible so that she can jump right into bed at her own house with Joey, and so that she can be an equal with Joey in his criminal business. And I don't like it. Vanessa is a very unlikable character. She has become my least favorite character on the show. It was neck and neck there for a while between Vanessa, Ashley, Derek. Honestly, this show, sometimes I just think they shouldn't even try with white characters, because outside of Smitty, they don't work for me personally. I think that they should have killed off Vanessa instead of Doug, quite frankly, because at least Doug had redeeming qualities. He was actually entertaining. I am not at all entertained by this Vanessa and Grandpa Gangster story, and I guess her ascent to be the queen pin with Grandpa Gangster. And I know some of you in the comments have been saying, well, maybe the story is that Vanessa does know that Joey is responsible for Doug's death and she's going to take him down from the inside. And that would be better than this. But if that is what they're trying to do, I don't think they're doing a very good job of writing that as the thing they're trying to do. I don't think that they can write this like they did Haley, where they just swerve us and surprise us one of these days. And this is really what Vanessa's doing, because for me, that would be bad writing personally. At least where the Haley story was concerned, from the very beginning, we have at least seen that they're not developing Haley for some reason. We weren't sure what the reason was. But they did, in my opinion, drop some hints here or there about Haley's real intentions, although they really did make it seem like she was just so insecure. But at least that was a new character starting on a new show. We know Vanessa by this point, and well, I do think we should think that Vanessa would have some real suspicions that Joey could be responsible for Doug's death. The setup seems to have convinced her that that was not the case. And the fact that she is still betting Joey and still seems very excited to be betting Joey and now in her own home. And even though she's saying, oh, we can't go do it in the bedroom yet because she doesn't want to cross that line with Doug's death. Yes, she's not ready for that, but we could fuck in the guest house or the guest room, whatever it is. To me, the writing's not there if they're going to twist one day that Vanessa really knows that somehow Joey was the one responsible for Doug's death and he wasn't drunk driving. Because we've been shown nothing that says otherwise, that Vanessa would really know that it wasn't a drunk driving accident and that it was really Joey. So if the twist one day is out of nowhere, then that's bad writing. There's no build to that. I still think we could get to a point where Vanessa starts to uncover the fact that Joey was responsible for that. But by that point, it's what I've been saying all along now. I don't care for Vanessa to get revenge on Joey because she's just as trash as he is. I'm really sick of that story. And then today they decided, well, it's Friday. We might as well have Derek and Ashley back because, they're so riveting for a compelling Friday episode. Let's see Derek try and stand up, which wasn't going well at first, but then it does start to go well. And then, of course, he keeps that information from Ashley. And then on the flip side, lo and behold, Andre's at the hospital like always, allegedly looking for Ted, but always running into Ashley. So sick of these two running into each other. So sick of Andre and Ashley discussing that damn baby that they helped give birth to in the elevator, with her terrible name, Ashley Andrea. Sick of that. And sick of Ashley talking about Paris. Just sick of this Ashley and Andre dance that has never worked since day one. At least later in the episode, we did have some Dani and Andre scenes where Dani was telling him that she's thankful that he's not sketchy and that he's there for her, and that she called off the modeling for him because she respects him and just wanted to do things his way because she's grateful. But with that whole story developing that Andre doesn't have pictures of him over the past year, I do fear we might have it that he does have something sketchy. I believe it was Devin in the comments that said that maybe he has a child in Europe and that's what he's hiding or running from. He's a deadbeat dad. Possibility. I do like that suggestion. I can see that being the case. But I don't know if I like that. This show has a villain issue. We need better good guys. We need better heroes, baby faces, as Devin would say, and in wrestling, because all these great characters, it's great, it's realistic. But at some point, who are we rooting for? Because some of the people we're supposed to be rooting for are boring, like the Naomis, like brain dead Jacob. Like, the show has to give us rootable characters sometimes. I love Dani. I love rooting for Dani, but outside of her and Andre, we're really lacking in the babyface department. What else transpired today? We had some Chelsea and Madison scenes. I guess they're both baby faces too, but not exactly riveting. We found out more about Madison and her mother, and how her mother has gotten involved with a lot of woo-woo stuff like tarot cards, and it's all thanks to her algorithm on social media. And they haven't spoken in months because she thinks that Madison should be healing people with more natural healing instead of medicine. She's one of those extreme hippies or something. And so she doesn't like her mom trying to convince her of joining her cultish ways, I guess. Chelsea then went on social media, which caused this problem with Madison's mom in the first place, to ask her social media if they had a chance to reunite a friend with her mom, would you do that, or would you mind your business? And the vote was like 72% mind your damn business. But Chelsea has decided she's not going to mind her business, so I guess this is the next issue for these two in the relationship. I don't hate it. I do think the show needs to develop Madison more, and giving her a mom is a way to do that with her backstory. So didn't hate that. Did hate the fact that Jacob and Naomi met up with one of their double dates with Ashley and Derek, because if Ashley and Derek aren't boring enough, and if Naomi and Jacob aren't boring enough, well, let's put them two together so we can have the ultra boring double dates. They only got interesting once we saw Isaiah sitting at the bar looking over at those four. And, of course, Derek used this opportunity when Jacob told him that when they had their baby scare, it made him want a baby, and that truth coming out has hurt their relationship, because when they first got together, they decided they never wanted kids, and Naomi still doesn't ever want kids, and so they're having issues there. Derek used that opportunity to be like, well, you told the truth. Maybe we do need to hold things back from our partners sometimes. I hate the Derek and Ashley story. I am on Naomi's side in this Naomi and Jacob thing, though. If you entered the marriage both agreeing to not have kids, and if you were really hoping the whole time that said person would change their mind to have kids, well, Jacob is in the wrong here. And I found it interesting that when Naomi got too drunk and started, taking some shots at Jacob, but then started to get up to go to the bathroom and was too drunk and falling all over, she runs into Isaiah, who helps her from falling. Are we in for a Naomi between two brothers storyline? Maybe it would make Naomi more interesting. I kind of want them to go there. Maybe in a classic Young and the Restless way, Isaiah can be the Malcolm to Jacob's Nil, even though at least Nil was kind of smart. Jacob is so dumb. But I do think Isaiah is definitely going to be the edgy brother in this scenario. At least I'm kind of hoping he is. We see in the preview that he's going to be having scenes with Eva again, so I'm also excited for that possibility. But I wouldn't hate a Naomi, Jacob, Isaiah love triangle. It would finally maybe make Naomi and Jacob more interesting. Next week's preview looks better. It is the week before November sweep, so I'm hoping it is a solid week. There was something in the preview that I was intrigued by, but I, of course, have forgotten since then. So the sirens coming by is my cue to end the video. We did end this week on a weak note, in my opinion, but hoping for better days ahead, because we are approaching November sweeps, and I am definitely looking forward to a lot of these stories, hopefully taking it up a notch for these next 5 weeks. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Oh, I think it was in the preview, Haley and Leslie sharing some scenes, maybe coming together in their villainous ways. Leslie has tried that in the past and it didn't quite work out with Haley. Maybe it will work out this time. So, and also in the preview, Carlton getting into it with Ted. That's long overdue. They're supposed to be friends. They're supposed to be business partners. And Ted has seen Carlton making moves on his wife, or now ex-wife. It's long overdue for Ted to confront Carlton. So maybe that triangle will have some more development as well. So I think we're in for a better week next week, and hopefully some better weeks, plural, in the coming weeks.